Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's BMOnus and coming to you again today with another one of these intriguing FIFA 20 experiments. And we got a fun one as we are doing current icons versus future icons. Yes, we're going to be a little bit prospective today. Now, this isn't going to be your typical, oh yeah, this is the current World 11 or whatnot, and then we're going to put them up against the icons. No. Now that FIFA has added in every single player that has been in career mode up to, or at least back until FIFA 07, I've painstakingly gone back through all of it and seen who are the best players who have yet to get an icon card that I can actually recreate in FIFA 20. As well as current players who have yet to retire, but, you know, there are a couple that we know once they retire, they're gonna get a card. So yeah, I went and I picked out the top players that are most likely gonna get an icon card or have yet to get an icon card. And then we're gonna put them up against the current crop of icons that are in the game. Now, if you are excited to go ahead and see these future icons take on the current icons, then go ahead and smush your hard direct nipple to the like button right now. Subscribe if you are new. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the prospective team of future icons. Now, it's quite tough choosing the top 3 in each position over the past decade and almost a half. So if you disagree with me, go ahead, let me know in the comment section down below. But I don't think a lot of people are gonna disagree with this guy. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's gonna get an icon card. Arguably the greatest of all time. As you can see, I bumped him up back to his highest rating ever, 94. You're going to see that along the lines of everyone that I put in this team. They're going to be at their prime. The other choices that I had at the left wing position, I think pretty easy over here. Neymar coming in at 92 this year. Fantastic player, legend for Brazil already. A little bit of a nonce, but I mean, like, it's not going to keep him from getting an icon card. And he's been fantastic in, like, the last 6 FIFAs. And the last choice is Franck Ribéry. Of course, France legend, as well as had a magnificent time over at Bayern. Lightning quick. I forgot back in the day that he got all the way up to a 90. And he was absolutely blistering out on that left side. He had 94 acceleration, 98 agility, 92 balance, and 91 sprint speed. And yeah, on the right side, I don't think a lot of people are going to contend with this one. Lionel Messi is going to be on the future icons list. What is there left to say about this? I guess the only thing, you guys can leave it in the comments down below. When he gets an icon card, how high is that icon card going to be? Because currently, the highest rate is 98 with Pele. Will he equal that? Will he get a 99? Same thing with Ronaldo. Will he get a 99? If not, it'll probably be the most effective card that you can get in the game. Behind Lionel Messi, I think this was a pretty easy one. Iron Robin, legend for the Netherlands. I mean, just a monster of a left foot. The cut-in god. Had a fantastic time over at Bayern and played for a bunch of legendary clubs like Real Madrid and Chelsea as well. And yeah, just like another pace demon. Not too far off from Franck Ribéry, but with better finishing. 93 acceleration, 93 sprint speed, 93 agility, 91 balance. And with 90 long shots. I mean, this guy was pretty terrifying back in his prime. And then I was tempted to go maybe Bale, maybe Mohamed Salah, but actually, I'm going to throw in a little bit of a screwball here, and I'm going to take Kylian Mbappe as a future icon. I know, he is very young, and he's still got a lot of career ahead of him, but I think, save for injury, what he's already shown already, if he can go to, you know, a bigger team, possibly in a more competitive league, I think he would definitely solidify himself as a god in not only FIFA, but in world football. He's the next generation. Who doesn't like 96 acceleration, 96 sprint speed? Can you imagine how fast his icon card would be? Like, it would be ridiculous. And then up top, maybe this is a little bit point of contention, but I think the most legendary striker of this era that is yet to get an icon card is this man right here, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. A little bit of a late bloomer as he kind of came on in his 30s, which is kind of odd. With a 6'5" sweet hit, just scored so many fantastic magical goals over the years and played for so many teams. This is his flashback card that comes out to a 92, but in-game it usually comes out to around like a 94. And the man who is competing for this spot is Luis Suarez, who over the same period of time was equally, if not more dominant. Of course, he was electric in the Premier League with his time at Liverpool, and then he was part of the historic MSN team. He's still killing it. And the last one on this list was a little bit of a debate for me between Robert Lewandowski and Sergio Aguero. At the moment, I think Robert Lewandowski is the far superior striker. I think over the past decade and throughout their whole entire careers, you gotta give it to Aguero. Save for injury, he is one of the most clinical, one of the most consistent strikers that has ever graced the Premier League or a pitch of football in the modern generation. Not only that, he had the most iconic moment in Premier League history. And this pains me as a Manchester United fan, the Aguero-like moment. You'll never see anything like this again. It's true. And you put in the pension of EA kind of favoring more Premier League stars. I think it's pretty certain that Sergio Aguero is going to be on here. This is a little bit of a throwback to him. I've upped his pace. back up to 85 with 93 acceleration, so he's a little bit more spry than his 73 pace current counterpart. Then at the cam position, this is a little bit cheating because primarily for the majority of his career, Wayne Rooney played at striker and center forward. And a lot of you younger generation might not know, but he was the most fearsome force in the Premier League for about a decade. He could pretty much do it all. He could pass, he could score, he could even play a bit of defense, never went down easy. He was the heart, the soul, the engine that drove those great Manchester United teams, as well as England back in the day. As well as he was an ex-poster child for FIFA, like around like FIFA 10 or whatnot. So he's definitely gonna get an icon card. This is his flashback card already, coming in at 92. But it's a bit debatable. Maybe you guys can go ahead, vote up on the eye thingies. Who do you think is the greatest cam of the Premier League generation that have yet to get an icon card? Would it be Wayne Rooney? Would it be Kevin De Bruyne, modern day, one of the best players in the world? Or the pillar of quality and consistency himself, David Silva, who's been underrated during his time over at Manchester City for over a decade? So yeah, that one's a tough one. I'm a homer, so I'm gonna put Rooney up there, but I would not fault you at all if you put KDB or David Silva in his place. Next up, the center mid position. I think this is uncontestable. Andres Iniesta is one of the greatest footballers ever to grace a pitch. He was part of the legendary teams of Barcelona, as well as the uber-dominant Spanish sides of the mid-2000s. And you can't have Iniesta on this list and not have his counterpart Xavi. Unfortunately, not in the game anymore, but I have recreated him back up to his 90 form of days past. Both him and Andres Iniesta formed this just unbreakable pair of tiki-taka deliciousness in those Barcelona as well as Spanish sides. It's tough though because both of them never really translated well into FIFA because a lot of the brilliance isn't as pronounced in a video game, but both of them are very much worthy of icon status. And the third guy on the center mid list, of course, is the former Ballon d'Or winner, Luka Modric. A little bit contested on, you know, did he deserve to win the Ballon d'Or that year? But I think of this era, he is one of the finest midfielders that we have seen, and definitely well worthy of a future icon spot if they give it to him. Then at the left back position, I think first choice, of course, has to be Marcelo, following in the great tradition of Roberto Carlos playing for Real Madrid as well as the Brazil sides of his generation. I mean, like, defensively, pretty solid, not always the best, but offensively, fantastic crosser of the ball, hyper intelligent, understands the game, exquisite first touch. I mean, yeah, I think he definitely deserves it, and it's the first choice for icon. Behind him, though, he's got some pretty stiff competition. You got Jordi Alba, who's been very consistent, part of the great Spanish sides as well as the Barcelona sides. And then behind him, I thought it was kind of interesting that he hasn't received one yet, and that is Ashley Cole, famed for his time over at Arsenal as well as Chelsea. And the game kind of needs, you know, more decent icon left backs. Next up, first choice at center back is Ashley Cole's former teammate at Chelsea, and that, of course, is John Terry. Now recently retired, I think it's not too far off to say that he'll probably get a future icon card. And this 91 rating was actually what he was rated all the way in FIFA 07, evident by his defensive stats of 95 stand tackle, a 91 slide tackle, and a heading accuracy of 94 with a defensive awareness of 93. And then who to start alongside him was a little bit of a contentious debate, but I think you gotta give it to Sergio Ramos. Yes, he's had a lot of hot-blooded moments, but I mean, of this era, what center back has won more major trophies? Then on the bench, the four center backs that I've selected that could possibly get future icon cards, and it's early days, but Virgil van Dijk is already a 91 in current day FIFA. You get up to a 91 in like any FIFA, you're probably gonna get an icon card. Then next up is Thiago Silva. I mean, he's never really eclipsed over like 88 or anything, but I think the main thing about him that everyone used to love having him as a center back was he was lightning quick when he was younger. So while not the most physically imposing, especially with like pace always being part of the meta, I could definitely see him getting a future icon card. Gerard Piqué, pretty much everything that I said about Sergio Ramos you can imply on Piqué. He was part of all the great Barcelona teams, as well as those great Spanish sides that won Euros as well as the World Cup. And I mean, Puyol got a card. I think Piqué is definitely going to get a card. And then last up, a guy that I'm surprised still hasn't gotten an icon card, but it's the Manchester United legend himself, the Serbian hitman, Nemanja Vidic. The man was an absolute titan in the back, a warrior, and he was a perfect pairing alongside the more wily, more athletic Rio Ferdinand, who already has an icon card. FIFA loves Manchester United icons. I think he's bound for it soon enough. And then at the right back position, this was a little bit contentious. Who I was going to put first choice here is either Dani Alves, but I went with Philipp Lahm. A lot of people say maybe the most intelligent footballer to ever play. Not exactly dominant physically, but mentally, he was a Goliath of the game. Coming in 90 overall, yeah, like physicals, he was never all that great, but you could see just like composure, interceptions in the high 90s, visions in the 90s for a fullback. Also played a bit at central defensive midfield. The legendary German coach, Jogi Löw, basically said that he's never seen Philipp Lahm ever take a wrong foot on a pitch, and I think that pretty much encapsulates who this guy was. But yeah, if you want an attacking option, a little bit more fun, it's Dani Alves. A fantastically fun player, of course, part of the legendary Barcelona sides, and he's been Brazil's first choice right back for what, like 2 decades? And then maybe a little bit of controversy here, but I'm once again going young for the 3rd right back spot. I couldn't really think of another right back. In FIFA 07, there was like an aging Cafu in there that I would love to see in the game, but yeah, he was a little bit too low rated, so I'm gonna go, once again, I'm gonna go Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know, he's very, very young, but much like Mbappe, he's already shown so much quality. He had arguably the most iconic moment of last year's Champions League. Already a godlike crosser of the ball, and if he could just shore up a little bit defensively, he could become one of the greats all time at that position. And then at the CDM position, I guess it was probably the thinnest area that I could find future icons. I'm taking N'Golo Kante here. Part of 2 teams to win the Premier League, one with Chelsea as well as that legendary Leicester run, and he was part of a French side to win the World Cup. But a lot of things you could kind of say the same thing about Sergio Busquets. I mean, you could make the argument maybe he should be in there over Kante. And in all honesty, if you were to do a midfield of Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets, I'm not really going to argue with you for the first team. And then in between the sticks, first man up, I'm going to go with Saint Iker Casillas. Back in the day, for Real Madrid, he was just an impassable wall, as well as was part of those legendary Spanish sides that ended up winning the Euros, as well as the World Cup. Behind him was kind of tough. You have to put Gigi Buffon. Some people even say that Gigi Buffon is the greatest keeper of all time. I wouldn't go that far. Fantastic career for both Italy, as well as playing for a multitude of Serie A sides. Disappointing that he never won the Champions League, but I mean, he's won multiple Serie A titles, as well as capturing the World Cup with Italy in 2006. He came in 2nd place in the Ballon d'Or, winning that same year, and he holds the record in Serie A for the longest amount of time without conceding a goal. A fantastic god of the game. 3rd choice. Okay, so 3rd choice is gonna be a bit of a debate here. Who do you put? Oliver Kahn was still in the game in FIFA 07, but albeit at a very diminished capacity. And then you got Petr Cech, who's part of those like iconic Chelsea sides, won the Champions League. Maybe even argue Manuel Neuer in here, won Champions League, won the World Cup. Now that I'm kind of talking about this, I'm starting to second guess if I should have put David De Gea here. I think now, all right, I'm just gonna leave David De Gea here, but I will gladly accept if you want to put Manuel Neuer as well as Petr Cech in here. I'll be going, but I guess it's a little bit of a homer pick. I'm a Man United fan, and I will contend that David De Gea is a better shot stopper than all of the aforementioned. And those are my choices, the top 3 in each position in the game to most likely get a future icon card. The future icons coming out to an attack of 93, a mid of 89, and a defense of 89. But how does it compare to the all current icon squad? It's gonna be tough, isn't it? But literally all these icons are taken from the rest of human history. So of course you can have all-time greats like Johan Cruyff coming in 94, Pele, the highest rated possible player that you can get in Ultimate Team, coming in at a 98, Maradona coming in at a 97. Then the midfield, there's a bunch of killers. Zinedine Zidane coming in at 96, Matthias coming in at 93, Rude Boy Hullet coming in at 93. And then the back line, you have all-time greats, Roberto Carlos, Maldini, arguably the greatest defender of all time, Baresi coming in at 93 right next to him, and Carlos Alberto coming in at 93 as well, with Peter Schmeichel in between the sticks. And then on the bench, I mean, I just put the highest rated icons you could possibly get in the game. Backing up, you got Hans Lehmann, Van Basten, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Andres Pirlo, Michael Ballack, Frank Lampard, Zambrata, Georgie Best, Baggio, Puyol, Vieira, Raul, Bobby Moore, Luis Figo, Ronaldo, Garrincha, Eusebio, Van der Sar, Petit, Blanc, Giggs, Ronaldinho, Hierro, Kaká, Gerrard, Rivaldo, as well as Yashin, Zanetti, and Desailly. And that's not even everyone. I had to leave a couple people off because they just wouldn't fit on here. In fact, I don't even know. I probably should put Ronaldo in it. Johan Cruyff can't even get into this team. That's how ridiculous the icons are in this game. My bad, Yashin should actually be in there as well. The all-icon team coming out to an attack of 95, a mid of 94, and a defense of 92. Now, I was tempted to take out a couple of the high-end icons just to make it a little bit more even, but every single time I tend to do that, you guys are like, no, I just want to see purely the best of the best in this category versus the best of this category. You don't got to make it more even. You guys can go ahead, vote up in the eye thingies right now on, would you prefer a closer matchup between the two, or do you just like it where it's just the pure, this is the icons, this is the pure of whatever that it's going against. I am still single MOnus. But alright boys, now I've taken these two historically great teams and I've put them into career mode, and now we're going to sim to the end of the season and see which team finishes higher up in the table. Let's go ahead and get that started, and as I do, I have to go ahead and make a prediction. You guys can go ahead and vote up in the eye thingies on which team you think is going to come out supreme on this end. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the current icons have a distinct advantage rating wise. So I'm just gonna root for the underdogs here. There's gonna be no forfeit on this one. This is just gonna be for I don't know, a gentleman's bet. But if you have any future forfeits you would like to see me do, go ahead, leave it in the comments down below. And if you see one that you like, upvote that one. And the most popular ones I'll start adding into future experiments. But I guess we'll see how the players did at the end of the season. Take it away, Time Wizard.
Go, Time Wizard!
Alright boys, we said on June 1st of 2020. Let's see how the lads did at the end of the season. And okay, it's Ronaldo on Ronaldo. But it is R9 Ronaldo with an emphatic 35 goals in the Bundesliga to go ahead and win the Golden Boot. Cristiano Ronaldo coming in second place with 24, although Pele right behind him with 23 in third place. See that Wayne Rooney goes ahead and pops up in 5th place with 18, as well as Lionel Messi contributing 17, Zlatan Ibrahimovic contributing 14, while Ruud Gullit pops in 12th place, contributing 12. We go over to assists, and it is Cristiano Ronaldo who wins the golden ball. 15 assists from him from the left wing position, although right behind him, current icons, Zinedine Zidane coming in with 12, as well as Pele coming in with 12. Although we have a tripod of future icons in 6th, 7th, and 8th, Messi, De Bruyne, and Rooney contributing 8, 8, and 7 respectively. And when it comes to clean sheets, this is a little bit of a shocker here. David De Gea pulling it out. Honestly, he probably shouldn't have even been in here. Yeah, now that I really think about it, either Neuer or Petr Cech should have probably been the third choice for future icons. But David De Gea proved that he might have been worthy. 26 clean sheets, beating out the Spider, Las Arañas of Lev Yashin over here, who got 22 clean sheets. Is there anyone else? Oh, well, here's the doozy. We also see that Peter Schmeichel is also on here in 11th place, contributing 8 clean sheets, which would push their total to 30, which probably means that the current icons have won this. Let's go over. I simmed as Dortmund to remain neutral. Second place is, yes, the future icons, and then the actual icons do go ahead and win it. 96 points to 92. It was relatively close. I mean, it's basically the best team that you could have in the game. The current day icons actually go undefeated in the Bundesliga. 31 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses. They had an invincible season. They scored 94 goals, which was very interesting because the future icons in Liverpool actually scored more, them bagging 99 goals throughout the season. And the future icons had a ridiculous defensive record of only allowing 10 goals the entire season. The issue is that the current day icons allowed four goals the entirety of the season. That is the most ridiculous sim stat I have ever seen in my goddamn life. Yeah, the future icons just never had a shot. It just did not have a shot at all. Maybe in the future, if like they had like prime moments Cristiano Ronaldo and prime moments Messi, if they were like in the 97s and the 98s, then yeah, it could have been a little bit more competitive. But yeah, 4 goals allowed the whole season. That level of defense has only been captured one other time in human history, and that is from today's sponsor, Dashlane. Dashlane is a mobile and desktop app that gives you shortcuts for everything you do online. You may know them for the password storage tech, which automatically takes all of your online accounts and passwords and puts them into one secure app, and then it syncs it to all of your devices. And I know a lot of you guys are going to probably be staying inside a lot from now on, so you're going to be doing a lot of online shopping. Dashlane will autofill everything out and protect all your information safe and sound, making your life just a little bit easier. And I know you guys are going to need entertainment, but if the streaming service isn't available in your country, with Dashling's VPN service, you can go ahead and change your location to any country you choose, all the while protecting your information from online scammers who are running rampant during this time of year. And the best thing of all, it's absolutely free for one device, so go get it. There's no excuse to not protect your data in 2020. Get on it, people. And even better, if you click the link down below right now, you can try the premium version of Dashlane for free for a month. No credit cards required on sign up, bro. And you can see for yourself the peace of mind that it brings to your life. So don't delay, get Dashlane today. Clicky the linky down below. Now back to the show. But alright boys, we still have a chance of a little bit of an upset. Can the future icons pull it out up against, the current icons? And we're playing head to head for the Champions League final, because why the hell not? It's going to be legendary difficulty, CPU on CPU. I'm not going to touch a thing. And as we see these two teams and all of these legendary faces stride out onto the pitch, you guys can go ahead, vote up in the eye thing is right now on which team you think is going to come out on top in the live action portion. It should be spicy. But alright boys, in the battle between icons versus future icons, it's now underway. Over to Conte. Excellent defense. Oh, does it, Ruud Gullit? Gets it over to Iniesta, it's a goal! 10 minutes in, and we might have it upset on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Andres Iniesta. Coming through big, just like he did for Spain, just like he's done for Barcelona. And this is all through the tactness of N'Golo Kanté. Look at this dip of the shoulder right here to absolutely confussle Ruud Gullit. And then, floating into the space, no one closes him down quick enough, and Andres Iniesta puts his laces through. Roberto Carlos can't get there in time. Not even Lev Yashin the Spider can get there in time. It's 1-0. But a lot of time left still in this match. Pele, excellent distribution out to Roberto Carlos. He can send it across if he wants to. Lays it down the line to Ruud Gullit. He's in the box here, gives it over to Matthias. He's got space, he shoots! It's there for Ronaldo! An unlucky bounce! And we have an equalizer. 6 minutes later, we might have a barn burner on our hands. We're gonna see it. It's gonna come off of, I think, Sergio Ramos, and is gonna sit up perfectly. Just right place, right time. And R9 Ronaldo isn't gonna miss, is he? Terribly unlucky for the future icons. That's how lethal the current icons can be. Carlos Alberto, linking up, playing centrally to Pele, the GOAT. Can he be closed down here? He gets past one. Oh, he's gonna slot off. Zidane makes it 2. And in the 35th minute, it's just too easy. No one can stop Pele. Just look at this. Way too easy. Pele drifts past 1, drifts past 2, puts it on a silver platter for Zidane, who slots it home into the side netting. N'Golo Kanté caught sleeping a little bit there. And Zidane rooting for himself. The inception. Now they can move forward. Pele waking up with R9 Ronaldo to Zidane. Over to Pele. Down the line, Ronaldo. Is he onside? He is. He's breaking it in. He's laying it off. Casillas blocks 1. And what a freaking defensive tackle by Marcelo. After an explosive start from the future icons, you can see that the current icons put them in their place. Realistically, 3 shots to 4 shots, 3 shots on targets to 4 shots on target. It is rather close, but the current icons, honestly, it could be 3-1 right now. You saw it. These future icons are going to have to earn their stripes in the second half. Can they make something happen? Carlos Alberto able to weed that out, and once again the icons suffocating. Not much has actually happened in the second half. Oh no, Carlos Alberto and Ronaldinho are just streaming forward. He's gonna lay it off. Yeah, they had to commit men forward. The future icons just could not do anything in this second half. The longer the game went on, the more suffocating the press became. They couldn't hold on to possession. It's probably gonna get cut out in a lot of these highlights, but absolute, complete, and utter domination, a la maybe like the Barcelona teams of the 2000s. Just hold possession, hold possession, hold possession, and when the other team got it, they won it right back with the press. And once it was too late, once they had a commitment forward, Diego Maradona and everybody else just hit him on the counter. And I think that is going to be it. After early promise in the 11th minute, it's been all current icons since. Yep, gotta clap it up. All right, respect your elders is what we have learned in today's experiment. The future icons won. They were always going to be the underdog. They had the lower ratings, and then the icon cards that we have currently are them at like pretty much their best. These are like not the prime moments version, but the prime versions of these icons. So it's always going to be tough when you're pulling through all of history versus like the last maybe 10 to 15 years of history. But regardless, hats off to the icons. They deserved it. And I mean, this really does show you how strong icon cards are in FUT. That they're literally playing the best versions of the best players that are in current FIFA, and they completely outclass them. It was not close. I watched the whole entire thing, and it wasn't even a game. It was a training exercise in the second half. It was like Liverpool versus Norwich. It was no contest. But yeah, that is pretty much going to conclude this experiment. Although, I mean, it's more about looking at a team of what future icons could be and having fun that way. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Quick reminder that I have started streaming again. After I'm quarantine, I mean, come check me out. Every Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be Twitch/BMOnus. Twitch TV /BMOnus. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter @BMOnus as well. And yeah, if you want more content while you're in this quarantine, go ahead and click over here, Dings and Foos. That'll bring you to a nice little playlist of a bunch of these experiments. And if you want something a little bit weirder, go ahead and click over here, Dings and Foos. And China ruins everything career mode, coming back April 1st. Mark my words. But until next time, boys, stay thick.